never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in old conversations, oh, 'cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken.
What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for those who are new here, my name is Nicole. I'm now a 5th year kindergarten teacher, and today I'm going to kind of show you what I do for my reading groups in my kindergarten classroom, how I set it up, how I prepare for it, all of the little nitty-gritty items that you might need to know for your reading groups. So if that's something you want to see, then just keep watching.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.
Okay, first, how I set it up is I have two 15-minute reading groups. That's 2 groups that I see. I know some schools do it to where you can do 5 reading groups a day. Unfortunately, my schedule only allows us to do 2. So how I do that is I see my lowest 2 groups Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then I see my higher 2 groups Tuesday and Thursday, because I have about 20 students, so that's 4 groups with 5 students in each group. So, of course, they will be coming to me at teacher table, and I'll explain what we do there. But one of the stations is they have a letter, and they have to put an eraser on top of the letter to identify the capital and lowercase. That's one. Once when they get done with this, oh, that's not the correct one. Then they have to move on to this one. Again, they have to find it, and then they're tracing it, writing it, tracing it, writing it, and then they're practicing the sounds as well. So that way they're able to identify the capital and lowercase letters, but also where they can practice writing it as well, because that is a skill they need to know in kindergarten. So we're learning letters A and S this week. So Monday and Tuesday, they're going to practice the letter A. Wednesday and Thursday, they're going to practice the letter S. And then on Friday, depending on who comes to see me, there's a craft that they can do, and they either pick the letter A or the letter S. Then my Monday, Tuesday activity is, my next station is my Monday, Tuesday activity. So how I do it is Monday, Tuesday is on top, Wednesday, Thursday is on bottom, and then if I feel like a student needs extra support on Friday, then they get individualized activities. So Monday, Tuesday for the next station is matching your capital and lowercase letters. So I change it based off of the theme. So right now it's apples. No, it's not. This is pumpkins, but it should be apples. But then also to support my lower groups, I have an alphabet strip. And so the students can look and refer to this if they do need help finding, the capital and lowercase letter. Because we did an ABC boot camp, but just because we did a brief lesson of the letters, they don't know them in depth. So I try to provide those just for extra support for my lower groups. So that's Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, they will have a card with the letter on it. One person will flip the card, and then the whole group writes that letter only. So this normally takes them maybe 7 minutes, and then they normally do an early finisher activity afterwards, which I'll show you those as well. So Monday, Tuesday, they're practicing matching their capital and lowercase letters. Wednesday, Thursday, they're practicing identifying the letter and then writing it down. The next station is an independent activity. So names are obviously very important. Students need to know that the first letter in their name is capitalized, and then the rest of the letters are lowercase. So on one side, they have their name, and then on the back, they have their ABCs. Obviously, I'm not going to show you the student's name because that's privacy reasons, but what they do for this one is they write their name 3 times, and then they do their ABCs 3 times. So name, ABCs, erase. Name, ABCs, erase. Name, ABCs, erase. Once when they finish it 3 times, then they're able to choose an early finisher activity. So that is Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, we have these like little tracers. And so they kind of just switch. They pick which one they want to do. They trace the capital and lowercase letter, write it out to the side, practice tracing the word that goes with the letter, and then write it out to the side. So we have the letters that we're learning for our 9 weeks. So it is A, S, P, C, and M, T. So even though the letter B got in there, the letter B and R got in there, and I don't know how that happened, but that's what we do there. Now let's talk about early finisher activities. So yes, I do have early finisher activities for my students. They are able to do early finisher activities, but that's because I put a lot of emphasis into it. So they know that they have to get this work done first, and they do have to do it with quality work, because afterwards I check to see if they did it or not. If they did, then great. If they didn't, then we're gonna practice at another time, so they know, like, Ms. Todd takes center time very seriously. But early finisher activities, I kind of have a variety of them. First one is our Apple letter match. So it's just a file folder. You have your lowercase letters and they need to match to the capital. Then you have your capital letters and they need to match to the lowercase. All of the letters are on the back and just a Ziploc bag that I taped. So that's one early finisher activity. The other one is counting cows. So they have the number and then they have a picture, and so they have to match both. And this is 1 through 10. If I'm not mistaken, this is learning resource, and I'll link this one down below because A, I really love cows, and B, this is actually a really fun activity for them. The next one is they get a baggie of letters, and they have the alphabet arc. So some of them are lowercase letters, some of them are capital letters, and so they just have to match to the correct letter. So that's another activity they do. And then also, just to kind of cycle in previous learning, I have these. You've seen them, they're one of my stations work. These are the letters that we learned last week. So right now it is the letter T. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to switch it to the letter A, since that'll be previous information. So those are early finishers. Let me show you how I kind of organize everybody into groups and how I set it up. I love using my Google Slides for this, so I'm going to show you who I use for that and how I do it. Okay, so the person that I use is Move Mountains in Kinder. I really like it because it's very simple and just organized for the students to see. So we have a 15-minute timer. Not only does that hold the kids accountable and they can know how much time they have left in the center, but it also holds me accountable because it's just a very sweet, simple timer. And then when it's done, we all know to stop and then start cleaning up. We also have Champs. Champs is just our classroom management, what voice level we need to be at, how are we doing this activity, where are we doing this activity, who do we ask for help, all of the things. And then we have the rotation. So I have everybody listed out. So first one is teacher table, then your letter match, name trace, find, dab, and write, and then early finishers. So underneath I have a picture of just kind of where the students are located, even if they're at the table, if they're at my table, if they're on the carpet, if they're using flexible seating, where exactly are they at? And then I write their names underneath it because I forget, they forget. So just having the names underneath it really helps just to hold everybody accountable. So I have this, and then when it is time to clean up, the cleanup slide will come on. It's a 1-minute timer, although I am going to bump this up to 2 minutes just because 1 minute has not been feasible. So we're going to do 2 minutes. And then again, it says clean up items, give Ms. Todd papers, leave buckets at the table, and then go sit down. And then we'll switch it to a new slide, which is our round 2 slide. And then I tell the kids where they're going, they go there, then we get started. Then we have a 2-minute timer, and we clean up, and then we get ready for snaps and centers. Now, let me show you what I do at my teacher table. Okay, right now at teacher table, it's kind of a work in progress CRA level books. So I kind of just been showing them, this is the front cover spine, who's the author, what is an illustrator, where's the title page. So normally we would read the book, we would talk about the comprehension part, who is in it, what is happening, explain it to me. And normally they would take the books home, practice with parents, and read it. What I have been doing is working on sounds. Now this is just a magnetic board. It's from Really Great Reading, which is our phonics instruction that we use. I am in love with it because not only did they provide this, but it's all on an app and it's very interactive, and I really love Really Great Reading. So what I do is I ask the students, okay, find me the sound that makes find me the letter that makes the sound goot, as in goat. And then they can look on the board and see, where is the goat? Oops, there it is. And then there's like a little letter attachment next to it. Then all of the letters are in the bucket. They put it on the smaller board, and then they practice writing the letter itself. So not only is it hearing the sound, knowing what letter it is, it's also being able to identify the beginning sound in the letters. It's writing the letters down because they do have to know how to write the letters the correct way. So that's kind of what we're doing so far. I practice with the letters with what we're learning now, and then I switch over to our beginning letter sounds. I just found this in one of my cabinets. So it is just random letters, and then you have pictures, and the students have to hear the sound and be able to match it to the letter. And then normally there's still time after we practice our sounds. So then I go into practicing our sight words. We will review the sight words, and then I'll have the students write the words on the whiteboards, and then I'll have them think of a sentence. They don't have to write the sentence just because we haven't taught that, but we'll practice telling sentences like, I like your shirt, I am at school. So that way they're kind of thinking about how they can use the words in everyday language as well. So this is pretty much what we're doing at Teacher Table, but honestly this has been a game changer because they're learning their sounds a lot faster by adding this in it. And I know, if I'm not mistaken, this is a science of teaching reading aspect to it, and having them understand, you know, A is a vowel, so it has two sounds. What's its short sound? Ah, what's its long sound? A. It's been able to help them. Even with my lower groups, like they're picking it up very fast just by practicing this. So very proud of them. That's what we do at Teacher Table. So let's end off this little vlog. I'm gonna put everything up and we're gonna have a little chitty chat. Okay guys, so we are back home. The custodians needed to go in there and just clean up, and I didn't wanna take that time away from them, so I just went ahead and just headed home. So I really do like the reading groups that I have now. I do want to kind of try to play around with it just a little bit, just because I feel more confident this year, since it is my second year teaching kindergarten, of all the various types of centers I want to do. I do want to see if I can try to get another small group in, so possibly doing 3 groups. It's hard because you want to hit all of the groups, right? But you just don't have enough time in the day. So there's that. And then also in the last video where I was explaining all the things that I did at the Teacher Table, we weren't for sure how to set up reading groups with our small group, just because we didn't know if we could possibly read the books. But since then, you know, we found out that we actually could, so we got the all good for that. So now I'll be doing like a quick phonics lesson review with them, just so I can see where the students are at, and then we'll practice reading our books, and then if we have time left over, I'll do sight word activities. So that's pretty much it. If you do something different for your kindergarten classroom or just your classroom in general, comment it down below so we can kind of get more ideas on what to do during these times, because it can be very stressful. And I know, looking at social media, a lot of other teachers are having the same problem. So let's just build that community up. Let's work with one another to help each other out. But I am going to go ahead and end off our adventure here. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can join our little family. But I love y'all so much, and I cannot wait until our next adventure. Bye guys.